Today's read aloud is called Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons. The story is written by Eric Litwin and the art is drawn by James Dean. So if I asked you to point to the title of this story, think about where you would point. Okay, if you say it's here at the top of the book, you're right. And if I asked you to point to where you see the author and illustrator's names, you would point right down here. See where their names are written? Now you remember, good readers always look at the pictures and they think about what they're reading. So I see Pete the Cat and something is happening with his buttons. Looks like it's popping off of his shirt there. Do you know what he's sitting on? Yeah, that's called a skateboard. Have you ever tried to ride a skateboard? I bet lots of you have tried scooters. Or maybe a wagon. You've ridden in a wagon. Or maybe even some roller skates. It's a lot like a skateboard. Now before we start to read, look, I have a container here. And this is an old container. It used to have some candy in it. But I thought the container was so neat that I would keep it. And when the candy was all gone, look what I put inside. Yeah, these are all the buttons that I saved just in case I might need one if a button pops off something that I'm wearing. So let's take a look. Look at these buttons that I have here. All these buttons bring back good memories. Look, here's a stocking button. What does that remind you of? Yeah, Christmas time. This came off of a dress that I wore a long time ago. My daughters had the exact same dress. Look at this button. Yeah, it's a teddy bear. I don't remember what that came off of. I have lots of different buttons in here. And look, I even have a purple button. All right, let's get back to our story. Look at all those buttons. Here's the title page. Let's read. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this song. You see our number? Let's see if he has the right number of buttons. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you tell what time the clock says? We always read the shorthand first when we're reading a clock. That's called the hour hand. It's pointing at the 8. And when the long hand is straight up on the number 12, then that's called o'clock time. So right now it's 8 o'clock and I see a sunshine out the window. So that makes me think that it might be 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm looking, this looks like a bedside table. So maybe Pete the Cat is in his bedroom. Since there's an alarm clock and a bedside table, we don't see the bed, but it does remind me of a bedroom. Let's see if I can turn the page. All right, here's his song. So help me sing his song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Do you see the quote marks? Did you remember that when you see quote marks, it means that someone is talking? Who's doing the talking? Yep, it's Pete the cat. I wonder if I can match up Pete's shirt with 4 buttons that I have. Let's use the teddy bear. There we go. He's got 4 groovy buttons. All right, let's turn the page. Oh, I see Mrs. Daniel's favorite, onomatopoeia. Read that word. It's a noise word. Pop! Oh, no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? All right, let's see. I'm going to put that button there. We had 4 buttons, and this one popped off. How many are left? 1, 2, 3. All right, let's go on. 3. 4 minus 1 equals 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Groovy. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. Help me sing. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Let me get 3 groovy buttons here. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Uh-oh. Pop! Oh, no! How many buttons are left? Another button popped off and rolled away. Did you see that? He had 3. That's the one that popped off. Can you tell how many are left? All right. 2, T-W-O, 2 buttons. 3 minus means take away. 3 minus 1 equals 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Did you hear 2 words that rhyme? No, go. Yes, they rhyme. He kept on singing his song. Help me sing. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Oh, I bet you could have predicted this. Do you see what happened? Another button popped off. Look what he's doing. Look how many scoops he has. This looks like strawberry and chocolate. Yum, yum. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? All right. 1. 2 minus 1 equals 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button. Just has 1 left. Pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Look at Pete's shirt. You see where he is? You know what kind of car that is? A VW Bug, Volkswagen. Yeah, and what is Pete sitting on? That's a surfboard. Do you see what's in the background? Is he in his bedroom still? You notice where he went? Looks like the beach. I see a palm tree. I see the ocean in the background and sand. All right, let's see what he does. 0. 1 minus 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? Let's find out. Uh-oh. His belly button. And he kept on singing his song. There's his belly button. I wonder if cats really do have belly buttons. I might have to go check out Zoe and Zane, my kitties. All right. Look what he's thinking. It's all good. All right, help me sing. My button, still have my belly button, my button, still have my belly button. Ah, now he's out in the ocean on the surfboard. Look at those waves. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. Yeah, look at each of his buttons that he lost. Buttons come and buttons go. There's all 4 of his buttons. They're going. The end. I love this story. It's a great book. All right, I have a fish in the river activity for you. So if you take a look, you should have a sheet that looks like this. It has a 10 with your subtraction sign. You should have a river that looks like this, blue river, and you should have 10 fish. Now you'll need to cut apart your fish and place each of them on each of the dots in the river. I don't have my fish cut apart, so I'm going to use some of these groovy buttons from our Pete story. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have my 10 buttons in the river. You should have your 10 fish swimming in the river. Now you'll also need your die to play this game. So we have how many fish in the river? How many buttons do I have? 10. I'm going to roll my die, and it says -3. -3. So I'm going to put my 3 here on the line. 10 buttons -3 equals. So I need to start over here, and I need to take off 1, 2, 3. See how I took those 3 off? How many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Write your answer here in the answer box. Now, how many fish should you have in the river? You have 7. So bring that 7 down. We're going to start with it. 7 minus, take your die and roll it. Oh my goodness. -6. So now I have to take off 6 of those buttons. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many's left? Yep, just 1. So write your answer 1 right there in the answer box. How many buttons are left in my river? 1. So I'm going to bring the 1 down. 1 minus blank. Get your die. Roll it. Aha, I got another 6. 1 minus 6. Uh-oh. Can I take 6 off my river? No, that's impossible. I can't take 6 off if I just have 1. So X out your box and say it's impossible. Then we're going to start all the way back over with 10. So put all 10 of your fish back in the river and play again. All right, have fun playing. And remember, your sheet has 2 sides, so when you get to the bottom of this sheet, start over again with 10 fish. Have fun.